my name is Cassandra and I am an instructional aide who works in a severely handicapped classroom in my local public middle school. And it is the season. We are officially in December and it is sick season. I want to say it is a season of great cheer. I want to say it is the season of all things nice, happy, and good. But it's but it is also the season to get sick. Okay, this is very common in elementary schools. It was quite common last year in the class that I was working in the public school, and even in high school it's quite common because schools are nice, natural little petri dishes where things just spread around and around and around and around. So that's what we get. But I have come up with 10 or 11 tips to those who work in schools to potentially stay in the clear for the season, because we are right in the middle of it. December and January is when it is flying in full force. So hopefully my tips can keep you staying healthy and steady in the clear for as long as possible. Okay, let's hope these work. So this video is going to be broken down into 3 categories. It's going to be broken down into non-consumables, consumables, and the third category is also consumables, but things that I actually haven't tried myself, so I can't attest to them actually working. And honestly, I can't attest to any of them actually really truly working. However, it's the belief that counts. Sometimes your mind, people say this a lot, but sometimes your mind is the most powerful tool, to be quite honest. So jumping in with category 1 is the non-consumables. So this first one is one that we've heard time and time again. I know people get sick of hearing it, but you can't get sick of hearing it. It is the baseline level of just staying healthy. It's washing your hands. It's washing your hands. It's teaching your children how to wash their hands, enforcing it for those middle schoolers and enforcing it for the high schoolers, and also remembering to wash your hands even in your home. I don't leave the bathroom without washing my hands. As a child, I was a completely different being. I was very disgusting. All the time, unless I was in school. But at home, I never used to wash my hands. Now I wash my hands all the time. I use the restroom, I wash my hands. I get out and I touch something that might have been touched by somebody else, and I'm going to prepare something. Before I prepare whatever it is that I'm getting ready to prepare, I go and I wash my hands because I don't have cooking gloves. I should invest in some cooking gloves, but I don't have any. So I wash my hands. After I'm done preparing, I wash my hands. When I'm touching other people, when I have to get in contact with them at work, typically I do wear gloves. However, I take off my gloves and I wash my hands. I wash my hands before eating my lunch at work, even though I'm wearing gloves for most of the day. I wash my hands even if I'm wearing gloves after wiping a student's nose. I wash my hand. Wash your hands. You gotta wash your hands. You gotta wash for 20 seconds. I usually count Mississippi's. I go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. I try to go extra slow because you got to get in the crevices, okay? So that is tip number 1, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you clicked off of this video at this point, but washing your hands, it's very, very, very important, especially if you work with children. You want to set a good example, so you got to wash your hands for them to want to wash their hands too. Okay, so the next non-consumable is a method called coconut oil pulling. Coconut oil pulling, I'm sure plenty of people have heard of it before, but coconut oil pulling is, the method is you get a teaspoon or a tablespoon, I'm not sure, I get a tablespoon of coconut oil You put it in your mouth and you let it get soft. It's gonna get soft from the natural heat in your mouth, and then you swish it around like mouthwash for about 10, 15, 20 minutes. I started doing this because I didn't have health insurance. Once I graduated from university, I did not have health insurance, and I would say as quick as I got kicked off of my dad's military benefits is as quickly as I got an infection in my throat. Like I could see the pus in the back, and I couldn't see a doctor. I didn't have the money to see a doctor. You know, American healthcare, it's lovely. It's lovely. I could not go see a doctor, so I was looking up home remedies to try and help figure out how to quell this issue that I had. And ever since then, I started using coconut oil pulling, and I don't believe it actually did anything for the throat infection that I had. However, I used it every morning since then. I used it for like 2 years straight ever since then. And my first job after college was tutoring, and I was tutoring children in a center, and they would come in snot noses, fevers, coughs, sneezing. We always had to wipe down the desk. We had to wipe down the desk after every hour. But sneezing, everything. They had everything. They're children. Of course they're going to have everything. So I would go in with a mask. This was pre-COVID too. I would go in with a mask, but I felt confident going into work as well because every morning I would do coconut oil pulling. In the evenings, I didn't do coconut oil pulling, but that's a suggestion. But every morning I would wake up, I would do my coconut oil pulling. That started my morning routine, and then I got, my teeth brushed, and that was done, out of the way. Didn't have to worry about that later on. So it was really easy to get set up for that. Coconut oil pulling, I believe, like I mentioned earlier, belief is a powerful thing. I believe not only pulled the bacteria from my mouth, but pulled the bacteria from deep within my body. That's why it's called coconut oil pulling. So I would envision or believe that the coconut oil is pulling everything from the gut up, and it's connecting and binding to the coconut oil. That's why it turns white. So when you spit it out, and you should spit it out in a trash can, not down the sink drain, not down the toilet drain, because of the way coconut oil is, it could get stuck in the drain and it could cause plumbing problems. So it is best to spit it out in the trash can. But I believe that it was pulling out the impurities from deep within my body as well as in my mouth. So coconut oil pulling, whether you want to do it or not, I know people get really touchy about putting a glob of oil in their mouth. You don't have to do that. And there are also alternatives, nicer alternatives that they sell at Walmart or Walgreens that people could better stomach. So that's fine. Also, don't swallow it. Don't swallow it. Do not swallow coconut oil. It's after you've done the swishing around and the pulling and whatnot. Do not swallow it, because all of that is bacteria that has binded or bound itself to the coconut oil. So you do have to spit it out. Coconut oil pulling has to go out of your body. Out. Okay? So I believed after the end of every day, I would wake up in the morning, if I was feeling a little, whatever, I would do some coconut oil pulling. But I believed that it was a powerful, powerful tool. The third non-consumable in this category is, sorry about that. The third non-consumable in this category is a hot or warm bath or shower. So this, for me, kind of comes back to belief. It's like you're washing the day away. You're sitting in a nice warm bath that's taking off the day, and then at the end you could shower it off, because some people don't like to sit in their own filth. I get that. They see taking a bath as like sitting in their own filth. I get that, but at the end, you just get up and you take a shower. Either you could take like a full-on shower with soap and water, or you could just rinse off your body with water. I do soap and water, but when you're in the bath, just, go ahead and take that washcloth or that sponge or whatever you use and, just get it off your body. The steam also helps break up the mucous membranes that are just sitting in your system. So that's very helpful. The belief, the belief is there, okay? All right, so now we're moving on to the consumables. And for this category, we're starting off with a well-known classic, the apple cider vinegar. The apple cider vinegar. Yes, you should take a teaspoon a day. I usually take 2. I put it in a shot glass. I don't mix it. I just toss it back, and then I have some orange juice on the side. I would recommend doing it with water. So mix those 2 tablespoons with water, and it's an easier drink. The second consumable in this category is the Alka-Seltzer Cold and Flu. So the Alka-Seltzer Cold and Flu, you could get it as 2. You could get it in a day pack, you could get it in a night pack, or the day and the night pack does come together. Usually I get it from Walgreens. I used to get it from Winco because I couldn't find it in Walmart. So Walmart used to have it. Walmart doesn't have it anymore. Walgreens has it. Winco used to have it. So when Walmart didn't have it, I would go to Winco. And then when Winco didn't have it, or when I couldn't find it in Winco, I went to Walgreens. So Walgreens has all of that good stuff. You could get the day and the night pack together, or you could just get the bulk night pack, or you could just get the bulk day pack. If I'm feeling real down bad, like real bad, I take day and night, because the day is supposed to help you stay awake, and the night really does knock you out. Well, it knocks me out, but taking several tea packages of the night throughout the day, it would completely decimate me for the entire day. I would not leave the bed if I didn't have to, but I would have to get up and make the tea. So once I'm done with my nap, get up, make some more tea. So long as it's been like the 2 or the 4 hours that have passed that they recommend, I'm good with that. I'm good. All right, the third consumable is oregano oil. So I use oregano oil because, well, I don't like throwing up. I use oregano oil because I don't like throwing up. But I read somewhere on Instagram that, like, if you have food poisoning, take oregano oil. You could get this in the droplet package. It comes in a little container, and it has the droplet thing, and then you could do the droplets in your mouth. I use the oil-filled gel capsules. I take 2 in the morning and 1 in the evening. I usually take 3 a day. That's been working for me. In fact, I have a fun little story that maybe I could mention later about how I believe it helped me. But I think oregano oil really does well to keep things down, to keep things going in the system, and for it to just pass right through you. So if you have some type of virus or bacteria in your intestines and it really just needs to evacuate, it really just needs to find its way out, I think oregano oil is good, keeping the vomit down, keeping all of that down, going through your system, and, for lack of a better term, peeing out of your butthole. It just flushes it straight through. I love oregano oil. You could get it in the, like I mentioned before, you could get it in the drops. They recommend 4 drops if you get it in the droplet form. But I just prefer the capsules. I think it's just easier to toss it back. It's just easier for me. Now, in that same vein, because I get the oregano oil and I get ginger and I get elderberry. Elderberry helps to boost your immune system during this time. Oh, also another thing that I didn't mention about the oregano oil. The oregano oil is very good at supporting digestive health. especially if you need it. So that's what I use. But I get the oregano oil, and I get the ginger, and I get the elderberry gummies from Sprouts. So I'm going to consider this all in one. I used to get ginger gummies, and then I realized I thought they were ginger gummies. They're not. So I didn't get them yesterday. So I went shopping to Sprouts because I was running low on oregano oil. And I got the oregano oil, and I got the elderberry gummies. The elderberry gummies I enjoy eating. I know people don't like it, but I think it's quite nice. I don't find it bad at all. So I like the elderberry gummies. The elderberry gummies and the oregano oil together, and then do some coconut oil pulling before you brush your teeth, and then after that, you come downstairs, and as you're getting breakfast ready, before you eat, you get your apple cider vinegar. Then you take your apple cider vinegar concoction, and then after that, you take some oregano oil and some elderberry. Boom. You're armed for the workday. You're armed for those snot-nosed kids. You're armed for those kids coming in with the stomach virus. Okay. You're armed for all of that. All right. All of that. So the fourth consumable that is recommended to take, and I've done it before, especially when I've started feeling perhaps that I might get ill with a sore throat. Nothing too serious. I get sore throats all the time. Is lemon ginger tea with honey. It's a classic. Lemons have so many health benefits. Citrus around this time, oranges, lemons, limes, they're in abundance. They're growing. They're ripe for the harvest. The last one in this category is beefing up on your probiotics. So I would consider this to be a year-round thing, especially in the summertime. I think it's nice to eat cold foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, yogurt, kefir. I'm trying to think of another. That's all I got. So kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, yogurt. I typically buy the Bulgarian yogurt. Is a lifesaver. It has been. I believe it has helped my gut substantially, but I also haven't been very consistent with it because I just don't like the taste. However, in moments like these, I say, screw taste. I want my health to be in perfect working order, so I let the Bulgarian yogurt do its thing, just consume it and let it populate as the good guys in my gut. But other than that, I don't drink kefir. I had, well, that's a story for another day. Anyway, I would say any type of probiotics that you can consume. Kombucha is a really good one as well. I also don't like kombucha, but what's good for the gut is good for you overall. So beef up on those probiotics. Just make sure if you don't like it, start small, but also stay consistent. So I'm gonna have some yogurt after filming this video, but yeah, yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha. I would say those are my top suggestions, and you can find them at your local food store, your local health store. You could find them at a Stater Brothers or a store similar to Stater Brothers, a Walmart, any of those places. So the last category, they are considered consumables, but they're consumables that I have never tried. I would say 2 of them are more seasonal, and then one is year-round. It's more of like a preparation type thing, or if you're into this, you kind of do it just for the health benefits. So the first one I would say is Airborne. I have heard lots about it. I have heard great things. It is like the star child of medicines when people start to get sick. I prefer my Alka-Seltzer cold and flu, so I'm going to stick with that until I just really can't find it in the stores anymore, and I really hope it doesn't get to that point, but Airborne is a good one. I've heard. Another good one that I've heard of is Ninja Red. So that one is this like it's a beverage. They consider it a sports drink. I don't know what's in it, but supposedly it's all natural, healthy, good stuff. And I think if I'm down bad again, like I was last year, I would probably just bite the bullet and order it. But also, like, I don't have the funds, so um, you could buy it in bulk and it's over $100, or you could buy like a 2-pack and it's like $80. It's quite expensive, but I've heard incredible things about it. I've heard about it on Instagram. I've heard about it just like I've seen it as like an ad on YouTube. You know, there are plenty of good benefits, and I am eager to try it, but I'm not eager to get sick to try it, if that makes any sense. Like I would drink it like I would drink a Gatorade. Well, maybe not like a Gatorade, but in in proper dosages. I would, because they do say it is a sports drink, and I think it's one of those things that is good to have year round, but people really kick up the dosage, especially when they get sick. So Ningxia Red, I think that could be a good option if you have it and you get sick, or if you have it and you don't want to get sick, just start drinking it now. Just start drinking like 2 to 4 ounces in the morning or 8, I don't know, however your body works. And the last one is celery juice. I think celery juice is something good to drink throughout the year. I know people do like 30-day celery juice cleanses, or a 30-day celery juice challenge where they drink celery juice first thing in the morning after brushing their teeth or not. And it really cleans out their system, and it rebuilds the stomach lining, and it builds a protective layer, and it boosts your immune system. All of these things that it touts as great and spectacular. And I'm big on health. I'm not super big on health that I'm willing to spend over $500 on it, but I'm big on health that, like, if somebody says it's good for you, although it's nasty, I'd consume it. So I hope this video was of some help to any of you guys working in the school, or working at a school district, or traveling around, working with cute little kids that just want to give you all their love and germs in the process. Take all of these, take none of these, take some of these, or if you're already doing some, then that's great, and hopefully you're on your way to boosting your immune system and staying safe and healthy during this season. Thank you for watching, and I will be back with another video, hopefully with more tips and tricks to help people stay clean, sane, and safe during the school year.